Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel. Cricut just released a mug press. It was released at midnight online. You can go and purchase it. I think they have it priced at $1.99. And if you wanted to go out and get infusible ink paper, you can do so. I actually went out and bought some. So I decided to use the infusible ink paper on this mug, and then I subbed a mug with my children's photos on it. And believe it or not, you can use sublimation ink and transfer paper inside your Cricut press. And what I mean by transfer paper, I don't mean like iron-on stuff. I'm talking about like a sub paper. But you would definitely need to use some sublimation ink and have your printer and your paper together. And I'm going to walk you through it. I mean, like, why not? The colors pop. The ink that I used was Cosmo ink. If you are not a part of that group, make sure you go and look for that group. The name of my group is called Bad Mother Crafter Arts and DIYs, and you can find me on Facebook. So let's get started, shall we? So I'm going to put you on a mount so that way you can see the screen. Okay. So I do have some, infusible ink paper right here. Okay, I'm going to take the time and weed these out. Slice them down to size. I'm also going to grab my photos. So this is the painting that I did a while back. I did it some years ago. I want to say maybe about 8 years ago. And I wanted to put it on a mug. And I've been pressing so many different things, but I wanted to make sure this is a brand new mug. I did use paper that was already pre-sized for mugs, and this paper is from ASUB. I did get it on I found it on YouTube and also found it on Amazon as well. So you might want to trim down your image. You don't have to. I mean, I just had some excess, white there. You want to make sure that you are taping down your image on both sides. Take the time to tape it down, because guess what? If you don't tape it down, you're going to regret it in the end. So I'm going to take my image down. I'm trying to make sure that the video wasn't going to be too long, because I don't want you just sitting here out of boredom. So I'm going to take the top and bottom. I'm going to go back and fix that as well. I'm just trying to make sure I got placement on my mug before I get too trigger happy. And you want to make sure it's not crooked too. I just had to push the button on my heat press so that way it doesn't cut off. But honestly, this heat press, to date, hands down, one of the best heat presses I've used in a very, very long time. Okay, so I have it taped down. I'll make sure that it's even. Always go back, make sure it's not like bubbling, no gaps, because if there's a gap, it's not going to sub right. Okay, so even though it wasn't even the first time, I'm still going to go back and fix it. Hopefully it doesn't like peel up on the sides. So yes, I probably could have measured my tape a lot better when I did it the first time, but hey, it's okay. I know it's like I'm wasting a lot of tape, but I'm trying not to. Sorry for the noise in the background. I got kids, so it happens. Okay, that's one of the images. And here's the second image. And if you have any words on your images, make sure you mirror. If you don't, it's going to be very weird, and it's going to look like it's completely backwards if you don't. So again, I'm just putting tape down just to hold it in place. And then I can go back and tape it the right way. Again, sorry for the noise in the background. I have a 2-year-old that wants her way at all times. Okay, so I got it taped down pretty good. Oh, not this side. You know, go back and inspect your mugs. It takes a split second to make sure that it's all taped down right. So now that I have it taped down, so when the green light is on, that means it's ready, it's heated. Don't put your hand in there. Make sure that you lift it up to open it. And you just set your mug down in it. You're going to close the top. See that? I'm going to close it down. It's going to clamp down, and when it gets and reach the very last dot here, that means it's ready, and it will beep just like the other heat press do when you are pressing a t-shirt or socks or anything like that. But I think that this device that Cricut came up with is a game changer. I think it's a wonderful thing. I do recommend it. I've been pressing things with it for maybe about an hour now. So definitely a game changer. Okay, so let me put this tool back in. And let's grab a weeding tool. There we go. So that's going to be our other mug. I'm going to put that to the side. I have to weed both of these so I have enough time to prepare my next mug, which I like. The only downside about this particular heat press is, honestly, it's really no downside. But I just wish that I could put 2 mugs, you know, and, you know, but hey, can't have everything. Let's not be greedy. So because you're using infusible ink sheets, make sure, I mean, you don't want to just yank it because you can drop a letter, you can mess up your image. This, I recommend the, you know, infusible ink sheets is for those that don't have a printer, you know, for sublimation ink. It's, you know, those printers are not cheap. I mean, you might be able to find an Epson, you know, EcoTank 2720. I mean, they have different versions of it, but I think that one might be the least expensive. You might be able to find it on sale for like $200. I currently use the 15,000, the EcoTank, and to be honest, best decision ever because it prints, you know, wide format, not like 36 inches, but it prints, I think it prints up to 19 inches wide, if I'm not mistaken. So that printer right now pretty much goes for about $5.99. If you find it on sale, you might get it for about $4.99. So I'm just going to weed out all the letters here. I'm doing it off camera because I want you to be able to see the lights up there. And I will do another video to show you how to size your image to your mug. I am using a 11-ounce mug, and the paper that I was using was actually pre-cut paper. Like I said, it's ASA paper. It's about 3.5 inches high and 9 inches wide for full coverage. So I am very pleased with that paper. Different companies make them, and I'm going to be testing out those papers and giving a review. So I'm just waiting for this to start beeping. Hopefully I can get both sides weeded by then, but it's not a rush. I just wanted to show you that you can do both. All right, so that's one side done, complete. Okay, so make sure you do it on mirror so that way you can see it, because if you don't mirror it, once you print it, or should I say press it, it's going to be backwards, okay? So this is already done, and let's do the other one, and we're going to place it inside of our press, okay? So go ahead and put this in our mug. that way it's all together. Take your time. Make sure you got all your little, you know, extra pieces off. Take your time and line it up. Okay, let's put this down so you can see. Change the angle. So I'm going to bring it all the way over here. I'm going to line it up because this has the, you know, transfer tape already attached. You don't have to really tape this down at all. You just have to make sure that it is laying. If you need to lift it up, take your time, lift it up. Because you don't want to have it lifting in certain places when it's time for it to do its job. Now, what I found that because you're touching this paper so much, this transfer tape rather, I find that it's better to go ahead and, you know, just a little piece of tape depending on what your image looks like. It shouldn't hurt. Okay, it's ready. Just lift it. Look at that steam coming off of it. That is hot. Very, 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 very hot. Okay. So I'm just making sure that my image is not going to lift. Okay, so that's one side. I'm going to take this out. You can make sure you use gloves. I'm going to dip this in some cold water. And if your image comes out looking like this and it's not burnt, that means it actually subbed correctly. Okay, so I'm going to take this off screen and put it in some cold water. That sizzle is ridiculous. It is that hot. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weed the other image. Just change the angle. Take your time, because you don't want to have to cut the same image more than once. Trust me, you don't want to do that. I'm trying not to pull too much because you might pull other letters. You might tear other letters because this is not regular vinyl that you're weeding. This is paper. So you don't want to pull the wrong thing. I know I don't. So while that's cooling down, let's go ahead and take this off as well. This side. My other mug is sizzling like I just took it out the grease or something, like I was frying something. Okay, it's on the other side here. And let's go ahead and weed out the other letters. Inserts of the letters. Again, take your time. That one just popped right out. I'm trying to move as fast as I can because I know watching someone weed something can be very boring, but some people actually like weeding. I was wondering how it was going to react to being inside the press, and to be honest, you can use the infusible sheets, and they do have the pens, or should I say markers. You can use those as well. If you want to draw directly on the mug. I know I've seen some people do that, but I wouldn't do that. I don't recommend it because it may run and it may damage your heat press. Okay, so now that I have it all weeded, let's check the other side. And let's get all the little extra inserts. Again, sorry for the noise upstairs. So let me trim this out. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. I had to jump off the camera and get my 2-year-old. She is definitely acting up right now, so she wants her way. Okay, so let's go ahead. Make sure this is taped down correctly. Take your time, because once you press it, you're going to be very upset with yourself. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take the time and tape it down on the sides here, only because it just does not, I don't want it to lift later. Okay, and let's do the same thing with the top. Okay. Okay, let's do the other side. I want to make sure that my letters do not lift across the top. Okay, so there's the infusible ink one, and let's pop it in. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that it's there. Make sure that it closes all the way. There you go. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead and take the, let me grab a mat. Now make sure that your heat press is sitting on top of a mat, so that way if you're using one of those self-healing Cricut mats, you want to make sure it doesn't warp on the bottom. I think that it is a big deal, so that way you don't spend that money twice, right? So let's do the reveal. I'm going to peel back the tape. Yes, I have it in cold water because the mug was very hot when I took it out. It's still pretty warm. It's not hot, but let's see. Very pretty. And this was a watercolor painting that I did, again, many years ago. Okay, let's take that off. And it did have a background, so I'm not really worried about that. The original has a background. It's very, very light. Now, normally you would do this with gloves on. I recommend you actually being safe. So don't follow my lead and try to do it without gloves. I think it came out very beautifully. Just peeling it off. I find that it's better that you peel it while it's wet. I don't know. I just like peeling it while it's wet. Pour out all the water. Let's grab a paper towel and let's wipe it off, so that way you can see what it looks like. Okay, let's move this out the way because we won't need this anymore. Wipe this off. Dry off the center, outside. There you have it. So, I think that because this was like low resolution, it looks a little bit like this, but high resolution comes out awesome. Okay, so this is almost done. It's almost completed. And once it gets down to the last dot of heating up, it will be awesome. Okay, I'm back. So I wanted to make sure that you wasn't sitting here the whole time, and I wanted to make sure that it came out. So this was the first one that I did, and here comes the, now this was just printed with sublimation ink and A-Sub paper. And no, I didn't use a Cricut mug because I know they're promoting Cricut mugs because they just came out with the Cricut press. So I want to make sure it's ready. Let's open it up. Lift up the sides, and I'm going to lay it on its side because it's still very, very, very hot. Let it cool down before you do anything extra. And yes, I did use my logo and design, so I wanted to make sure that I had something with my name on it. Why not? So let me grab some gloves. Now, normally we just let it cool down, but because I am doing it light right now. So I'm just gonna make sure you get some UV gloves, you know, heat resistant gloves. I don't recommend you peeling this back this soon. If you're gonna use your hands, you'll be very sorry. And that's the infusible ink. It came out very well, very nice. One thing I do like about this mug press is you don't have to set anything. The time, you don't have to set a timer. You don't have to set the temperature. It's already done for you. And that's the other side. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. And if you'd like to see more, you know, click like, click share. And I hope you subscribe to my channel. I'd like to do more with you. Have a nice night.